Hey everyone, welcome to another great episode of the Smooth Business Growth Podcast, where we share 15 minutes of fast-paced peer marketing strategies proven to move the needle in your business. So I'm your host and captain, Lyndsay Phillips. I'm the founder of Smooth Sailing Business Growth, where we help busy entrepreneurs attract and convert customers faster through powerful and consistent content marketing. In fact, if you go to smoothbusinessgrowth.com at the end of the show, you can download your social media roadmap to help you do just that. So for any entrepreneur out there that wants rapid growth, and building and growing a team is key. But man, why does it have to be so hard? This is why I absolutely had to have Matt Singer on my podcast to share effective management practices. So it is the superpower that you need to scale and grow your business. So let's set sail. Welcome aboard, Matt.
Thank you very much, Lyndsay. A pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So you say that, I saw it on your site, that 2% of us use effective management principles for exponential growth. That's a low percentage. Why are we all so horrible at it?
I was about to say it's probably set high with 2%. So.
Oh my gosh. So we have a lot to learn from you then.
I would say so. I think generally if you look at small businesses in the US, particularly, very, very small percentage ever start hiring people, and a very small percentage either ever get above 5 people, which is a shame. Well, not just in the US, but worldwide, but generally a shame. And I do what I can to change that.
Awesome. So, what is effective management practices or principles? What does that even mean?
That's a great question. I think from my point of view, it's very much about having a clear management system with clear processes that enables you to get a consistent, great output from the people working for you. And when I say consistent processes, what I mean is having clear, good processes for how to communicate with your people regularly, how to build good relationship with your staff, that is critical, how to hold effective meetings, how to recruit well, how to find the right players to join the team, how to give feedback. One of the things that most business owners are really bad at is giving good feedback. And so the delegation generally is a big one, both in terms of developing staff, but also in terms of growing your input or growing the value that you contribute to the business.
Perfect. I know. And we all have different leadership styles.
Yep.
Is that a factor in it, or is there's a right way and a wrong way?
So for me, everyone have different leadership styles, and that's important. Mm-hmm. However, no matter what leadership style you have, if you want to build a team, you have to learn to recruit people. Yeah. It doesn't really matter if you're very assertive, very sort of driven, very pushy with people, or if you're a very soft-spoken, way too nice person, whatever way it works, you need to learn to get the right people on a team. Yeah. You need to learn, all the things I just mentioned is something you need to learn. Now, you might utilize it slightly different, but those skill sets are all critical for any entrepreneurs, for any business owners, or even any managers around.
That makes sense. And you make a good point on the recruiting. If you recruit wrong, or your hiring strategies, or how you conduct the interviews, that paves the way for everything that follows afterwards. That would be huge.
Most people have tried hiring right and had a really great person to work with, and most people have tried having someone that wasn't good to work with. And when you've tried those two different scenarios, you start realizing the value of really investing in it. I'd say there's only one skill as a business owner in general that I value more than recruitment and interviewing, and that's the art of communication. Mm-hmm. But basically for me, those two are the two most critical skills as a business owner you can have, because if you set the right team, honestly, it's 80-90% of the work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't agree. I would be hooped without my team. And I have such a good group right now, and I'm so thankful for them. So what are some of the things that maybe we're doing wrong in our management practices? I mean, I know there's probably a lot, but maybe a few of the most common ones, and kind of how can we fix it?
Yeah, so there is a lot that people do wrong, but or not necessarily wrong, but there's a lot that could be more effective, right? And one of the key things for me is management is like everything else; it's a skill. Mm-hmm. What most people do wrong with management is that they don't actually take time to learn it. And like, if you wanted to be a web developer, you would actually sit down and trying to figure out how to be a web developer. If you wanted to be a social media guru, you would sit down and figure out how it works. But most people don't do that with management, unfortunately. And that's one of the core reasons why I sat down and developed what I call the 80-20 management training in my management academy. And that was really to make a simple framework that can get you 80% of the way there, right? Because for me, that's the fundamentals. I see it also when people start growing business bigger and they start promoting managers within their team. Same thing happens. They don't invest in them. They don't give them training. They expect that on Friday when they go home, they had this role, and on Monday they come in as a manager and life changes. But for many people, if you don't give them the training, if you don't give them the support, they're not going to be amazing managers from day one.
That's so true. And I know so many people will, hire someone and then just expect them to be superstars right off the bat without, like you said, investing that time and training them properly.
And the thing is, most people, right, again, if you hire someone to do some social media, you probably have some training for them in that skill set. Yeah. And management is a skill like everything else, right? So really taking the time, investing in that skill. I don't believe management is that difficult. Mm-hmm. Obviously, certain aspects more difficult than others. But again, it's mostly difficult because people don't know. They haven't invested anything in it. And the problem is, like anything that you don't know very much about, it's really difficult and seems very difficult. But to a lot of people, when you actually start getting the basic understanding, you start moving from, "Ooh, this is difficult, I don't want to do it," to, "Oh, this is difficult, I kind of know what to do now." It's getting more fun, right? Mm-hmm.
So here's a question for you. So I'm a business owner, obviously, and myself and my partner, we manage our team together. But I've also seen other businesses where they hire, like, I don't know, operations coordinator, I don't know what we want to call them, but they have someone, not the owner, that is managing the team. So therefore, they need to be, equally as skilled to be able to manage those people. Like, do you see that in different cases?
I mean, you still have to be, like, if you hire a CEO and you don't run the business, you're not a contributor, yes, fair enough.
Yeah.
But that's rarely the case with small businesses,
true.
right? A lot of people try and hire an operations person while they're still the CEO. But if you're the CEO, you need to invest in your skill set, right? If you don't, like, particularly senior management, like if you don't manage them well, if you don't give the right direction, if you don't give them the right feedback, like, we're on a ship today, so a ship without a captain doesn't work well.
That is a great analogy. And one of the things that you mentioned, you mentioned communication, relationships, and recruiting, feedback, delegation. And one of the things you said was about meetings. Now, I know we all technically dread meetings. It can be painful. So I would love to hear your approach on what we can do differently to make them more productive and more enjoyable.
Yeah, so I'll try and, just because we are somewhat limited in time, I'll try and stick to team meetings, because this is some of the meetings that I see teams run in very different, in often very ineffective ways.
Right.
So those typical team meetings happen by the manager or the owner of the team or whatever sits and talk for 30 minutes to an hour.
Yes.
And then everyone else drops a little bit of input here and there. Obviously, for me, it fits within a framework, but basically the content of the team meetings I teach is very much that the team meetings is about the team.
Right.
So the core function of the team meeting is for the team to share with each other where each of the teams stand.
Okay.
It's ask each other for help and support and ideas, and it's learning how to collaborate. Right? If the business owner want to share news, which generally happens in team meetings, they can do that on email. Most people can read, right?
That's a very good point.
Right, and that's why people hate meetings, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not being effective, and they're not, like, the point of dragging a number of people into a room and sit down and talk is to actually share experiences and share, like, say, this is where I am, this is where I'm going, I'm struggling over here, anyone have ideas, anyone can help me. And particularly, like for me, even like high level, like I don't even attend a lot of the management meetings for my team because the meeting is for my team.
Yeah.
Right. And when you learn, like, again, I have a sort of much more detailed structure over it, but that's sort of the higher level view of the team meetings, right? Like, it's really about getting your team working together, getting them working towards the same goal. And the way I always look at it is, it's not one person or another that fails. As a team, when we look at our goals on a monthly and a yearly basis, we either fail or we win together. So it's about making sure we all get there. So the whole point is, if you're managing marketing and a colleague of yours is managing operations, if the other person is struggling and you can give a helping hand, loaning them resources or helping with your expertise, etc., then that's what you need to do. So the whole focus is really making sure that as a team, you get to deliver the goals and the targets that you have.
And I guess that's just making everyone feel like they're part of the decision-making process, and part of the process, right? And
don't take it personally, but it's not about making people feel they're part of the decision-making process. It's making people actually part of the decision-making process.
Thank you for that. You're very right.
Yeah.
Are there should meetings never be over an hour? Are there any rules of thumb that we should go by? And my second question to that is, being online, we're never really in person together, in a boardroom, so to speak. It's always online on Zoom. Are there any help that we can get to overcome those challenges?
Yeah, so I would say in terms of meeting time, it generally depends on this team size, etc. I would say half an hour to an hour is usually, depending on the team size, is usually good. Definitely, again, going back to relationships, I mean, one of the things with meetings is generally building relationships, right?
Yeah.
And if you do a Zoom call, actually putting the video on is good. One, it helps people actually pay attention more.
True.
They're on video. And again, if you have a bunch of people sitting in a meeting not paying attention, they should either not be in the meeting or the meeting shouldn't be there in the first place. So you want to make meeting relevant for the people that are in them. And I mean, take that, again, when you're sitting talking to people, I mean, podcast is one medium, right? But if you're sitting talking to your colleagues and you can see their expressions, etc., you're building better relationships, right? So it's an opportunity.
Yeah, that's a good point. And how do you feel about different collaborative tools? I know some people hate and love Slack, project management tools, email, Skype. Do you have any preferences or any opinions?
I definitely do. My opinion is the tool doesn't matter. What matters is implementation and use it.
Yeah.
Use it. So if you use Slack if you use Asana or Trello or Basecamp or whatever, it doesn't matter what tool you pick. What matters is you pick one and make sure that the whole team use it.
Yeah.
Right? Similar with communication tools. Again, you don't want half your team talking on Slack and the other half talking on Skype. right? One place, everyone. And this is one of the places as a CEO, as a business owner, you set down boundaries for the team. Because if people are like, oh, I don't really like using the project management tool, I'll just do it in a spreadsheet. That doesn't work.
No,
if your company uses a tool, it uses a tool. And as a business owner, that's one of the things that you want to drive, right? So if you say communication happens here, this is the project management tool, etc., that's how you lay down the rules.
Yeah, I love that. That's true. Absolutely. And I've seen that happen before. But yeah, I love that. Setting boundaries and kind of the rules of communication, I guess, right? So that people know what they should do.
Yeah, and reality is with most of these tools, I mean, yeah, there's some of them that are better for different purposes, etc. So yeah, do spend a little bit of time checking them out. But most people are like, oh, let's test out this one, let's test out this one.
Yeah.
They end up spending so much time running between. Then half the team like one tool, the other half like another tool, and it sucks. So you need to find a tool that can do the job pretty well, and then you need to stick with it, right? Now, I mean, that's the fundamentals for me.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Now, I know you mentioned all those different practices, relationships, recruiting, feedback, delegation, team meetings, and so forth. And I love that you have created this whole framework for people. It's like a guideline, like a template that they could follow, and because you don't know what you don't know. And I know you've got that management academy. So how can people find you and find the academy to seek help to manage their teams more effectively?
Yep. So madssingers.com, madssingers.com, and then click on the Management Academy. It's for me, again, as I said, it's the 80-20 of management. It's a great place to start. And at the moment, at least, you also get a free coaching session with it. Okay. So basically, when people have completed the Management Academy, they get a free coaching session as well, where I can help them with any of the sort of specific challenges they have. On top of that, there's actually also a community behind it with a Facebook group. So again, where people have the opportunity to ask a lot of questions and so on. So it's we're really doing the absolute best to really service everyone and make sure we help them take that step to upskill themselves. And I would say at this point in time, we've sold about 150 courses. Oh, nice. And we haven't had anyone unhappy with the purchase so far. So it's a good feeling, and I definitely get so many cool testimonials and stuff. So I'm really, really happy with the reception. Perfect.
Yeah, and it's nice to get an academy that has more of an interactive feel for sure, and that you're getting that support. Yep. Awesome. So this week's 15-minute cruise to move the needle in your business has come to an end. So thank you so much, Mads, for giving us that feedback. I know it has inspired me to create some better team meetings for our team. I'm sure they'll thank you too. And again, people reach out to madssingers.com. I'll have those links on my show notes as well. And he has a lot of great resources on his website as well. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So folks, if you're looking to achieve faster growth through content marketing and sales funnels, look no further than smoothbusinessgrowth.com. Have a profitable and productive week, and may the wins always be at your back.